expressive, sensitive playing. Probably spend more time on the Chopin if that's okay. There's more we can, make use of. You play them both very, very well. I don't have a whole lot to say about the Bach. I think just some things I'm sure you probably heard from your teacher. Make sure you're not dragging during the left-hand trills, and I like your articulation very much. Ornaments could speak a little bit more clearly, and the end, you get more of a sense of arrival to this deceptive cadence. We're not expecting that B flat major there at 49. Your ending, I think, could also have a firmer touch. It'll be a little bit more decisive as well. Play the piano for a second. Yeah, so when you have your ornaments, a little more active finger articulation, okay? Then here, going to the deceptive cadence. I would actually take a little time there. A little bit of a slight stretch. Not so matter of fact, okay? There's a little bit of drama, even though this is a two-part invention. We can kind of dig in there a little bit more, okay? Let's go ahead and start again from the beginning, though. Short enough piece. Well, even there, I feel like your right hand is a little subdued. Well, again, I've been talking to other students. It's a little more muted here in this middle register, so you have to give a little bit more. Within each one, have you considered just making each one different from the other? Do you know what I mean by that? So I'm going to have to, let me have the piano once more, please, thank you. So I'm getting, like each one you kind of do a swell and you come back, right? So maybe you could consider, sequence could just be softer than the first one. Instead of each one, you don't want it to become predictable, like you're doing the same swell 4 times in a row. You know what I mean? Yeah. Right? So. Okay, and then here, I would consider just a short trill. It's preceded by the upper auxiliary anyway, so you could just go 2, 3, 2. Okay, it'd be easy to speak that way. Yeah. Let's start it again. I'm gonna try to just make this one softer, okay, and let it come down, but not having a swell in every single one. Let's skip ahead and we'll go to this deceptive cadence, okay, and we're going to really arrive there. So how about here? do a 3-1, 3-2. Yeah. I was saying earlier, fingering is my thing, you know. It's just so important. So if you're trilling on a 4-3, 4-3, it's gonna be much weaker than using your strongest fingers, right? Yeah. Okay, so take a little more time. Da da dum bum bum. 1 and 2, 3, 1. Okay, let's go from here. A little more. Good, but don't let up on the crescendo. Keep the sound swelling into that arrival. Practice that, get used to that, but I would definitely ornament. I think it's begging for an ornament right there, okay? So yeah, a little bit more confidence in the ending, more decisiveness, yeah, okay? And don't be afraid to put some allegandos in those two places. Yeah, good. Let's delve into Chopin. This is an interesting edition. I would highly recommend you look at a Paderewski edition. Have you, by chance? Okay. Now, if you're not playing for a competition, fine. Well, even if you're not, I would look at it because it's very different. There are a lot of things in this edition that are not in what we typically hear in this nocturne. Some of these pickup notes are not in the Paderewski. And this right here is very different. Some of the harmonies are even slightly different because of the way it's written. So, when you get a chance, I would look at either the Dover Paderewski or the original Paderewski. Okay, it's very nice. As I was telling a few other students, I was working on keeping the arm loose. I see a little bit of locked arm from you too, a little bit of stiffness. And Chopin is just particularly important to have a beautiful tone, keeping the arm really very loose. Okay, so let's focus on that when you play your intro. Okay, and throughout. Let's go ahead and start this again. Good. This is such a tough intro. It's to really make sense out of it. It's broken up so much by these rests. He repeats the same idea, 2 bars and then 2 bars. So I think you could afford to breathe more here and treat this more expansively. To me, it sounds a little bit quarter, rest, da, da. It's a little matter of fact, I think. More expansiveness. Careful with how you come out on that last chord, so it's not just this kind of chopped off release, that sort of a release, okay? Okay, so let's try to make the second one different. It's more stretched, breathe more. You got to feel these, breathe with the rest in between. As part of the music, not just something to get past. Relax your arms. Breathe. trills. So something happens with them. A little stiff, let it rotate freely. Yeah, see, it's locked. You're trying to, it's really hard to play like this, so you gotta let it turn, right? So better. Yeah, can't leave it locked, okay? Right, the theme. Okay, but consider how you come out of the trill as well. I would do a slower tail Nachschlag on the trill. And also how you go into it with the prefix. I think most of the movement is in the middle of the trill. And I think you give us more tone. Arm drop, slow arm drop. Better, keep going. Reach for this. So yeah, I'll put a little bit more behind that. You act like it's a mile away, that note, you know. And a fuller, richer tone on that, okay? And we reach, oh, not a fourth finger, third finger, yes. Yeah, you need more sound there. What is your strongest finger? Yeah. Yeah. Especially the right hand. Because it comes down later. And around there, okay? Yeah, so it's just keep some of that fullness there. Yes, please. Not intentional. Like there's a technical issue kind of holding back what you want to do with the trill, right? Again, everything I said before. Try to come out a little more here. So with your third finger, instead of being in, can you be like just clear the black key? You might have more freedom to move, right? Yeah, and then you can stop on the last note. Right, okay, let's try that. Make sure it has some shape to it. That's a really beautiful resolution right there. Should be some overlap between the fingers. Right on the trill is fine. Okay, I would work on that. So you really, I would use a slow attack. You want to finesse that phrase ending there. Okay. All right. Good though. Let's move on. I thought your A major section could be dreamier for sure. It seemed a little too accented to me. You know, can we do the transition into it? Maybe about 2 bars before. Okay, this is another reason why I think you should look at the Paderewski edition. There's not a più mosso in the Paderewski edition. You're actually doing it in cello rondo, I'm used to doing the opposite and hearing the opposite where you relax it into this section, right? And it's just really dreamy in your heaven. Now it's finally get the major key, right? I would look at it. I would not a cello rondo here. I would let it relax. Okay. The angst of the minor key plenty of times in this piece. Okay, now why don't you try relaxing that? Let's try a different approach there. Well, see, I think that should be more. You're just coming off of accents, right? Then it just settles into A major. Yeah, that's fine. No, but match it, right? Nocturne, great piece, right? Arms loose, wrist loose, shoulder relaxed. Now different. This one could be more. Now down. Stiff. I need more right hand. Right hand's too muted. Good. This also has a trill and the yeah, and I would even keep this. I would keep that trill blossoming all the way to that, right? So there's tension there, and then resolution into the A major section. Okay, yeah. But good though. You're getting a nicer sound here, a nicer balance. Okay. When you get to the mazurka section in the middle, I would not accent every bass downbeats. Da 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 da. You know, it's such an interesting little interlude, very unique. You know, maybe it's this haunting memory of a dance long gone. You know, there's something haunting about it to me. So I would keep it more sotto voce for sure. A smoother sound, but nothing really just popping out of the line. Yeah, let's try the transition into that. You can go here if you prefer. Pedals there. By the way, I would let this settle more. So you have right hand tone. Going crescendo. Divide this between the hands. Maybe a little swell in the middle of it. Yeah, it's like a horn. And it's dying. Watch it there. We don't have a clip sound. And it just kind of dies to the end there. Okay? So, no hiccups. You can use longer pedals. and here. That one I would really milk because I got. And again, some of this is edited, so you won't find any other additions. So, you could play this softly. You could swell a little bit towards the middle of it, as I was doing, and then let it die down at the end. But I think coming off of this part here, it's sort of questioning. To me, that's very questioning. So I would start more softly there. Okay. Let's try using some longer pedals there. Are you dividing this between hands? I forget. Yeah. Maybe that, so that makes it harder, trying to play it all with one hand. So you could easily try right, left. And once you catch this in the pedal, can you put this pedal out for me? So like this, you can go right, and you can take this, and then you can change. It's going to be a lot smoother if you consider dividing that up. Not now, you have to practice it, but yeah. Okay, let's try, just the lead in right here. Yeah, that's not in the original edition either. There's a lot of, it's hard not to do what's on the page, Yeah, so, and that's my biggest advice to you. Go check out the Paderewski. I think it'll give you more freedom, actually. There's less on the page, so you can do some things differently if you like. Yeah, but I would let that die down, okay? All right, good. Yeah, but see, much smoother divided between the hands. Or you can divide it. You won't have those bumps anymore, okay? So I would look into doing that. Good. Let's just do the recap. Okay. It felt too subdued in your melodic tone, right? Even the trill could blast some more. I'm sorry, I wish we had two pianos. I have to keep asking to stand. But, we could show that more. Very still here. Just keep them in that soundscape. No hiccups at all. You can let it be much more hushed at the end. He writes dying, right? Sorry, I did a bad job. I would show that E sharp when he changes to the major. I like to lay that a little bit. A bell tone. Okay. So it's all just this wash of C sharp major. And even the two bars before it's just this wash of minor. You can be very still and it just fades out and it dies. Okay? But you you want to play all the scales differently, with different kind of energy on those. Slower, even slower and softer, right? And keep up the intensity at the climax. Don't let up. Sorry, I gave you a lot of information there, but let's go right here. Oh, was that? Oh, okay, I didn't know what you're. I have to wrap it up, and let's try this and go to the end, and we'll be done. Getting too slow too soon, okay? The other thing I was going to leave you with is when you play these scales, have some semblance of the original tempo at first. So we don't want it to get too slow before the ending, because the magic really is at the ending, right? So, scale here, but then you're going to kind of keep those moving when you land on the half notes, right? Then when you get here, you'll be about, I mean, it's slightly slower, then slower. It's kind of limping gradually slower with each. And there, you take the most time, okay? So you want to pace yourself with that, okay? So a little faster on these. Remember your left-hand motor, okay? And then not too slow there, and then let it die down, okay? But really nice playing. Yeah, all right, bravo.